We are rocking and rolling. We're into it. Hit the shot. Hit the shot. Oh, we got the vintage, the feel good shirt. I got this bad boy. All I want to do is pose in this shirt now.
I know it's nice, all right? You look good in it. That's why.
Kid,
Brings
you
out
always
your
look
eyes,
good.
Mike.
So I've learned a lot about peptides, about optimizing your body, but I've also learned a lot about fashion with you, Johnny. Thank you.
You're welcome, man. Yeah, I mean, you're a very fashionable person, though.
And then also one of the big things is I know that the other day, you're out, you're doing your thing, you're enjoying. You really do live that Titan lifestyle. There's, you get your downtime, but you're in the mix of it. And you're still in the mix of it, and you don't have to be.
No, I don't have to be.
But do you like the lifestyle?
I love the lifestyle. I love the Titan lifestyle. Everything about it. It just, that's what drives me every day. And that's what's normal to me, I guess. So at that point, if I get thrown out of that routine, it doesn't feel as good per se, right? And when I'm in my routine, even if I'm taking some time off or I'm somewhere else, I still, I don't know. Once you're used to something so much and you do it every day in and out, I guess, that becomes everything to you. So at that point, that's what I'm all about. I love the Titan lifestyle because Titan lifestyle is all about one, being able to be active, eating a good nutritional diet, sleeping, drinking water, and having healthy lifestyle habits, and then at that point, being active and doing all these things and doing stuff with your partner, with your families. And this is what it's all about. And then obviously, listen, there's time off, right? And it's all about balance too. It doesn't mean you can't go hang out at the beach or go hang at a club or whatever it is. You can be social. You don't have to get messed up. You don't have to drink a whole bunch of liquor. You don't have to do any drugs. You can go out and literally have a good time and be around other people and maximize that. I like to dance.
I think people don't realize that. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, I understand when it is, if you're a competitor out there or you're really pushing it for 12 weeks, I understand shutting the world down, focusing on what you got to focus on. But I'm talking to that 1%ers, the elites. What I would like to say is that for you 99 other percent, you don't have to live that lifestyle that I have most of my life. You don't. You can, like Johnny said, man, get out there, have fun, get the pool party, get some pull-ups in between walking on the, it's like,
that's right.
You're doing it right. You're doing it right. And I got to come out and see you.
Yes.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure. Thank you. I mean, it only helps me out when you come out here as far as bringing me up and motivating me even more. It's awesome to have the vibe, the energy from you, Mona, and Titan. So at that point, you guys are like family to me. So it's been real quick, real fast for me as far as that goes. And, I love every minute of it. So at that point, I appreciate you guys coming out and flying out from LA.
We're coming back. And like I said, we'll come back, hit Take Titan.
Oh, yeah. Hit Disney time.
Yeah. Do all that kind of stuff. And then see if we can just do family time. I doubt with you and me together, I doubt it's just going to be that.
It'll be family time, but we'll organically get great content. And the thing about this is when Peter asked me all the time, because he started hating the camera around him all the time. And I'm like, listen, I go, the reason I want to do this is not only to show people like we're real people like everybody else, but I want to show people like, listen, this is what our family does. And then 2, now I have documented memories. Think about when we were kids. We didn't have this technology.
Scrapbook.
Even if you can keep on a scrapbook or pictures haven't degraded or, it's crazy. So now we have these long lasting memories and now we can videotape these memories. And now, since I have the resources and everything around me production wise, I'm like, listen, I want to get as much as possible. That way, when Peter gets older and he has his kids, he can show them what we were doing. And we could look back at it. We could laugh at it. We just be really, really happy about some of these different things. That's what memories are. Before it was pictures in a picture book, you're like, all right, cool.
I think it's awesome. And I think that's one incredible thing that people don't realize is that I at least grew up with scrapbooks, but those pictures get faded and they're old and they're shoved up there and stuff.
Yeah.
And so, but when I pull out the scrapbook and I see my mom and dad and us as kids, and it's the coolest thing. And what I'm happy about is that Titan's scrapbook is his page of 1 year old, 2, 3, 4, going to Florida, playing on the basketball court and hanging out. It's the coolest thing that he gets to go back. You know, tomorrow's promised to no one. If that's something, it's at least he has some great, strong memories of me in the meantime, and we'll keep doing that. So for you guys out there, social media could be a really great thing if there's that. If you want to keep those memories, and I saw somebody I saw a guy, very successful guy, and he really broke it down to me, and it clicked in my head. He goes, "Listen, we had a scrapbook as kids," and he's the one that I got that thought of, is that social media is a scrapbook if you want to use it that way. Now, I know a lot of people use it for promotions and all that kind of stuff, but I recommend put other stuff on there, and that's what's cool about Titan Medical. Is you do all the aspects, man. I'm sorry for talking, but you do everything. You show them, you and the wife, the kids, the kid, you get all of it in there. Your friends,
yeah. I mean, I like the show. I'm proud of that. You know, obviously that's what drives me. So, I mean, even if people don't want to put, you know, themselves on social media or kids on social media, you guys can take these videos and all that. You guys can upload these to different clouds, and you guys have these things you guys can play back later. So
just put your page on private.
Put your page on private. You can do that too.
Put it on private and just let your friends come in.
You know?
That's a good thing.
But I think it's really good, and it lets people open up of who you are to a certain extent too, as well. You know, they might not see you as this one-dimensional person, you know. Oh, this guy from Titan, oh, his juice head, whatever. I mean, I get it all the time, so it is what it is. But, you know, one thing people can say about me, you know, is I am a family guy, and I think that pretty much shows through. And that's who I am in person. I mean, I'm all about my family, about my friends. So what you see is what you get. There's a
level that that I feel they can't get unless they hang around you guys. And so I just want to say props to you guys. I know we weren't out there at the very best time, but we scheduled it so long ago and it just kind of fell on that time. And I pushed hard to get the very best content for you guys, and for me, because I want people to see this. Right?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
Jeff started working on it yesterday. He was like, "Oh, I got to get into this."
Yeah, man. I got a pot of gold right there, Jeff. Start making out some.
There's a lot of stuff there. Sure. And that's why when you sent me that video that you edited, it's like that has to go front page right now.
I know that actually came out really well. I like the motivational thing. I was like, man, this is right up our alley. It fit perfect, you know. I made another one today, so hopefully that'll be out good with the cars and stuff like that we did. So
the voiceover, if you guys don't know, over on Instagram, Johnny and me collabed on a video, and that's Bedros, our friend, and he's really insightful, and he does this black ops. So what he does is bring SEALs in to teach people how to hand-to-hand combat, shooting, also mindset, and so on and so forth. But something I think is amazing about what he does is he does a bonding between a father and a son. And they do a 3-day thing that's, if I said some of the stuff they do, it's crazy.
Really?
Getting buried. They push it, which I love. And, you know, you got the tube and stuff, but it's like, that's kind of claustrophobic.
I want to do that.
Yeah. But it's the father and the son, because there's probably a lot of things that the fathers are dealing with, and like men can't talk about it. And so they kind of break it down and get that bond between the father and son. And it came from a Viking heritage. The Vikings would send the kids and correct me if I'm wrong on this, but the Vikings would send their kid into the forest to kill something. And you either come back or you don't. And I was like, wow, I don't know what year that is, but holy shnikes. That's savagery. This is definitely not that. This is definitely not that far.
Yeah.
But it's cool to see the bonds between a father and a son, you know, working together as a team.
Yeah.
It goes back to the push-up. I think it is, how does it, the father does a push-up, but then the son gets on his back and the father has to keep doing push-ups. But then if if the kid takes the pressure off the back, then it's easier. So many metaphors that they teach and stuff over there. So it's kind of cool to just the bond. But that being said, cool. You as a father, you're still doing it and still tussling and still out there playing the basketball, doing the baseball.
Oh yeah.
Because you're living the full life. Talk to me about what we got going this week at Titan Medical.
So this week we have our injectable biotin, our hair health capsule therapies, even our Titan hair foam.
I'm on.
Awesome. Yeah, all three of them. So, I mean, we have something for oral version, which has our hair health capsules, great for hair, skin, nails, injectable biotin, hair, skin, nails, and then the hair foam. So great for hair. I'm not going to say skin and nails for that. But, as far as that goes, you have 3 different ways to attack if you're looking for hair loss to go away, if you're looking for hair regrowth, if you're looking for more shiny, healthier hair, then all 3 of these can attack that. One with our hair health capsule, it has biotin in it, has saw palmetto, it has neti, grapeseed oil. These things are great for helping the hair grow, helping the hair stay there. And when we talk about DHT, especially if you're on testosterone replacement therapy, you want to control DHT. You don't want to knock DHT down in the dirt. DHT is your friend. Everybody makes it out to be your enemy. If it gets too high, it can definitely go against you and do negative things with your hair. If you have predisposal to male pattern baldness in the family from both male or female sides, this doesn't matter. So this is something that we like to control. It's something I've taken. I love it. A lot of the girls take it. They love it, because some girls don't want to do injections. They don't want to do the injectable biotin. So they do the hair health capsules, which is great. Biggest complaint I get from girls usually is I have to go get my nails done more often now. It's costing me more money. And I'm like, or you get your hair cut more. I'm like, listen, do you want it to grow or do you not want it to grow? This is kind of like the, you choose now. Now, I would want it to grow more and do the more haircuts or do the more nails that you had to get done because at least it's working, right? So, hair health capsules is something very easy to take. Males or females can benefit from that therapy. Injectable biotin, same thing. And that's actually B7. So, biotin is not just for hair, skin, and nails. Biotin actually converts, into energy too, as well. So it's giving you energy throughout the body. It helps with the conversion. And then our hair foam, our Titan hair foam, finasteride, lantropost, and minoxidil. So these 3 components. Finasteride, which is Propecia, is the main commercial brand out there. If a lot of people take that, this is something that's usually given orally. It's FDA approved. It's one of the only FDA approved hair loss. But taking it orally can have negative side effects to a majority of guys out there, even females. So at that point, knocking libido down. So true libido. So when we talk about true libido, we're not talking about the erections, but it will affect erections too as well. But the actual drive of wanting to have sexual intercourse with your partner. So This is something that I tried, and I will never take again. I took it because, I want to see.
You mentioned that before. You said you didn't realize. Is that right? You didn't even realize you were not.
Didn't even realize.
Your girl came and talked to you.
Yeah. She's like, yeah. So, I mean, usually like me and Sharice will have intercourse every day. Like it's been 16 years and it's been like that. And God bless. Thank God. Cause I'm a bull ready to go at all times. So I'm thankful for that. But when I took this medication, it literally was like 6 weeks that I took the medication, and at probably about 4 to 5, that's when it really started like happening where not so much. And then I didn't even notice. And like Sharice would walk back and forth and she's like, what's the matter with you? She's like, this isn't like you. She's like, what are you doing? Is there something else or somebody else or something like that you're talking to? I'm like, absolutely not. So I was like, I'm like, oh my, I mean, she's like, I didn't think so, but she's like, I have to ask because this is out of your character.
Right.
And when I was like, I was like, no, I was like, but
you didn't realize it.
No, I was like, this is damn medication, man. I was like, I had to think about it. I'm like, what is this going on? I'm like, this is not, because when I talked to the doctor told me like, since I was on testosterone that I wouldn't have to worry about the DHT going too low, or I wouldn't
Right.
have to worry about libido effects or anything like that.
Right.
Well, that's not true. So I'm like, damn, like I'm stopping this medication immediately. And it took a couple weeks. It took about 2-3 weeks to get out of my system as far as that goes. And then I was back to normal. I'm like, I will never go back on this medication again. But the topicals also goes right in the follicle. So no problems there. And I've been using that for probably about, I don't know, 2.5 months. And the minoxidil is going to help, with your hair and keeping the hair, growing hair too as well. And then Lantrapost. So Lantrapost is the cousin of Latisse. So Latisse, if you girls or guys don't know what it is out there, they actually apply it to eyebrows.
Eyelashes
and
now.
Eyelashes, excuse me, not eyebrows. Eyelashes. It actually extends their eyelashes. So same thing with hair. It'll grow the hair out even more, make it thicker. So that's a great tool for people out there that want to utilize it. And it can be for males or females out there too as well.
That has to be like a top seller. Because I know that men have that with the two things I think, and correct me if I'm wrong. There's obviously other things, but sex drive or get in the wood, and then hair.
Erection, yeah.
Yes, so those are a couple important things that you probably don't want to get rid of or get them out of your life.
No, I mean, I talk to guys all the time, they're wanting to go on TRT or HRT or something like that, already on. And, most guys wouldn't even care. They're like, to a certain extent, of course, they don't want to lose their hair, but they're like, I'd rather feel good, rock in the bedroom, look good, and be like this, instead of have all my hair. And at that point, like, feel like crap, look out of shape, like just not have all these benefits. So it really depends on the person, but you can have both worlds. You can have your cake and eat it too in this aspect.
That's what I want.
And be able, hell yeah. I
right.
mean, the whole point of going on HRT is to get all the benefits with minimal to no side effects. And that's what we do here at Titan. So at that point, like, we want to make sure that our patients are set up and ready to win.
I saw an interview with Andrew Herberman about DHT, and if it's too low, obviously if it's too high, we understand that that's causing baldness. But if it's too low, you feel like bad.
You feel bad.
Yeah.
You feel like you have both testosterone.
It's an interesting hormone that I mean, it really triggers to two options. How do we know that if you do the medication that it doesn't go too low?
So you can blood test and see where the DHT levels are at. $30. You can DHT level, like, see where it's at. Is it high? Is it low?
Well, that was pretty simple, right?
It's really easy. I mean, it's real easy. There's no like, oh, I have to jump through 10 hoops. No, call up, say, listen, I want to get a DHT test, $30. Boom, we send you with a slip. You go and you get it. We got it back in a couple of days. We tell you, hey, listen, it's good, it's bad, or where it's at, and then you can make a decision what you want to do. As far as that goes. And DHT can come back up, so it's not like anything can come back up. Even if you knock estrogen down in the dirt, it'll come back up just a couple of days, a week or so, and you're doing the right things, and it'll come back up. So if it's too high, it takes a little bit of time to bring it down. So at that point, like, you go on medications for a little bit and it goes down, and you're fine.
So I'm hearing that it's important to get the blood work, even if you're doing something like this. And I'm assuming that for this medication, you don't need blood work technically to order it.
No.
Okay.
For all three of these therapies, hair health capsules, injectable biotin, or Titan hair foam, no blood work's needed.
All right. So if you want it, call Titan Medical, but I would say do the blood work. Do the blood work.
Absolutely. Blood work is key.
I do blood work every 3 months. We're getting ready to do mine again. It has been time, so I'm going to go back in and get that done with Titan Medical. And so we can kind of go over that again. And I had a nice sit down with your staff because we're going over my last blood work, and we came out. We were very happy about that. It was like nice. It's not as good as Mona's, but she's a genetic freak. But it was great. And then they were talking about different protocol for me, something moving forward.
Yes.
Moxie. Explain this one.
So MOTS-C, all right. So it's a new peptide that's out on the market as far as that goes, and MOTS-C is a little bit different from any other peptide therapy out there, which is really cool. The big thing about MOTS-C is it mimics exercise as far as the body, as far as metabolism wise. That means revving up the metabolism without you doing any work. I'm not to say you can just sit on your butt and you're going to get shredded by taking MOTS-C, but it's going to help with you being able to get into better shape quicker. The other thing about MOTS-C is that it actually helps with hemoglobin A1C, which is sugar levels. So it helps regulate sugar levels a lot better too as well. You got some benefits with these two things. Having that, I mean, be able to rev the body up and be able to burn fat like that and the metabolism, like mimicking exercise, which, like I said, there's nothing else out there like that. And then controlling blood sugar levels. This is another big thing as far as for helping for deferring weight loss and feeling better and anti-aging purposes too as well.
I love it. But everybody, hi guys. Everybody on here, their main thing is it, can I burn body fat with this Moxie? Does that burn body fat? Everybody
Yes,
wants to
yes,
burn
yes.
body fat. It
Yeah,
does.
so it's going to rev up the metabolism, so you're burning body fat. Absolutely,
There you go.
that's what you really want to do, right?
And then if you don't see the results within a week or 10 days, does that mean it's not working for you or?
No, no, you're gonna have to be on it for at least, I would say at least 60 days to see some really really good
There you
results. I
go.
usually say 90 in the staff, but usually 60 days you start really seeing a little bit of a difference start coming through.
Yeah, I always
Most
tell
of the peptides
everybody.
you're gonna do that.
Yeah, I always tell everybody you got to have patience with everything. And no matter what training plan, no matter what nutrition plan you're on, you could be
Yeah,
keto, you could be whatever, it doesn't matter. It always takes like, 60 to 90 days to actually really see the results that it's going to blow
yeah,
your mind away. And we
yeah.
had that 30-day blitz program that Mike and I did it many times,
Yep.
that some of the Titan crew did it. I'm telling you, you didn't see nothing in the first 2 weeks. A lot of people gave up. And my thing
Right.
was like, you can't do the blitz. You can't handle the blitz because within
Yeah.
2 weeks, they didn't see the results. And they say, you know what? For 30 days, I'm already halfway in. I'm not doing it. This shit don't work. Well, guess what? The day
Yeah.
19, the day
Yes.
20, it
Yes.
kicked in and we all look like superheroes. So
Absolutely.
I always say, here, you sit here. I'm going to sit right here. I always say, have patience for everything. You
Yeah.
know, talking
I
about
mean, everybody wants to have instant gratification. I totally understand that, but this isn't some surgery or procedure where somebody's gonna, you go in like, with lipo and you start sucking out fat. It's just not gonna happen like that. If you can start seeing good results within 30 days, I'd say stay on the program. You can't go 2 weeks into a program and expect to change the world or change the body in 180 degrees, right? I mean, think about that. 2 weeks. Then that we would sit around all year. In 2 weeks, we just go, hey, let's get 2 weeks. Let's turn this around like this. It's not going to happen like that. But will you see results in the first couple of weeks? Yes. Are you going to see dramatic results? Like, I was 300 pounds. Now I'm 180 pounds. It's not going to happen like
not
that.
gonna happen.
I like to be very truthful and transparent with people so they don't get these high expectations. I like to get the lowest expectation. Under promise and over deliver. That is the best way to do anything that you do, because
Yeah,
nobody,
good
if
point.
you tell them the lowest, they expect the lowest. And then when you give them more, they're like, oh my God, thank you. This is so good. But if you over promise them, you're going to lose 80 pounds in 1 month. They're like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
not gonna happen.
no.
I lost 10 pounds, John. Like, what? You promised me 80 pounds. I only got 10. Like, no. So that's what I do. I like to under promise, over deliver in anything that I do. And that way, it's always a bonus for the person.
One thing I get asked a lot is how long does everything is different, and so a rough estimate for somebody to actually notice the changes. And then I'm curious, is there a mind approach that they don't even realize they're feeling better?
As far
Because
as what,
I know a
taking
couple
Moxie or
with being on anything,
okay.
the glutathione, the
Sure.
AOD, the
Let's
anything like
Yeah.
that. Should you be on there for 12
Yeah.
weeks before you make a decision on if this is working?
I think in some therapies you're going to notice right away. So, like, if let's say you take NAD, If you take NAD that day, you're going to feel it kick in. You know it's going to be working.
Right?
Like,
You
oh, this
felt it.
works. Right? If you
Yeah.
take HRT, let's say you have low testosterone, you go on testosterone replacement therapy. Within 2 weeks, you're going to feel more energy. You're probably going to get a better erection, and you're going to be more motivated. It's going to start because those levels are going to come up. They're going to go from dramatically low to an optimal level, and the body is going to respond right away. So that's something you probably feel right away. Glutathione. So if somebody has allergies out there, glutathione is great for allergies. Like literally will get probably rid of your allergy medication. And one thing I can tell you is if you're like stuffy with allergies and you take a shot of glutathione, you usually will clear up. And that's something you notice right away.
I need that.
Hercules Potion, you inject that, ask Jeff. You'll notice that in the first workout and every other workout afterwards.
I heard
There are things.
I heard something crazy, and I tried this yesterday. You told Jeffrey to shoot it right into the muscle.
Right.
And so I did that yesterday for chest, just to see what would happen. Holy cow. Maybe it's because I'm really lean, but man,
I'm not lean.
I was just like, dude, an instant like, whoa, what's going on here?
Trust me. That's one thing that I tell people out there. Like, listen, if you can spot inject in those muscles that you're working out that day, it's going to be even more intense. If you inject in your shoulder, it's going to work systematically through the body and you're going to get a pump over. No problem. You inject in those muscles and you work the chest or you do biceps and triceps, you'll feel like they're going to explode, Mike. And at that point, these people are pumped. They're vascular. They're, oh my God, this is awesome. And that's just 2 of the ingredients in there that are helping them, that they're feeling instant gratification from. And they've got 7 other ones working behind them that they might not feel right that second, but they're working in these different ways to help them. So, you know, like I said, there's instant gratification when somebody's like even tight and complete. I had some guy come up to me this weekend. Man, I'm tight and complete. He was like, man, I noticed that in the first couple of days, so much more energy. I feel better. And in 30 days, I'm ordering again. So I'm like, oh, that's awesome. You know, I mean, but, you know, I mean, like I said, you might go on AOD. And AOD, you're not going to feel something off the first shot, right? You're going to take it. You got to be consistent with it, and you're going to keep moving. So it just really depends on what the therapy is and what's going on. But a lot of
either way you look at it, give it a little time.
Yeah, you got to give it some time. You got to give it a little bit of time. Anything that you do, whether you're trying a different diet, right? That you've never tried before, you're not going to know if that diet works in the first meal, first day. It's like, come on, you got
2 weeks and people are out on that diets. Oh, this is not working. It's like, okay, you've been eating bad for a year. Now this is what you want to do. Now talk about your hormones. How much different is that? It's like, come on. Come on. Let the professionals handle that. Take care of your blood work. Let's keep track of the blood work and move forward from there.
Absolutely. That's what it's all about.
You were saying, and Jeffrey got me going on that. That is something too on the Hercules Potion. And those you don't need a blood work again.
Right.
Because they're aminos.
That's it. 9 different amino acids in that Hercules Potion.
All right. So
the only thing you only need blood work for is hormone replacement therapy. So testosterone, estrogen, progesterone, GH, basically. So IGF-1 and that vitamin D, and that's it. And vitamin D, the reason is because vitamin D can be toxic to the body. So at that point, if you take vitamin D and you overtake vitamin D, you can have some definitely some health problems.
Believe it or not, I just disagreed with John.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, no. It's a good thing. Because you're being kind to them. You're saying this is all you need the blood work for. And that's true. Yeah. To actually get it, that's true.
Yeah.
But I think everybody needs blood work.
I agree with you.
To find it out. I've met too many 20-year-olds and early 30-year-olds that are already tanked and their hormones are off. And
me too.
They thought they were doing great. And then we look at their blood work and I'm like, holy shnikes. What did you do in college, kid? Holy cow, man. How are you functioning? You know, so
I talked to some guys who was talking about they started testosterone and everything. They went like 17, 16. I was like, man, you've been on it for a while. These guys are in the 30s. I'm like, man. Whew.
Yeah, that's another thing too, though, because a couple of these late 20-year-olds didn't do anything.
Yeah.
And they were still tanked. And so just for everybody to understand, John was saying correctly that you need blood work for these to get those on the process. I think you
Right.
need blood work for everything, because I get that you want to save the hair or get the and those kind of things.
Erection,
Don't take it. You got to know
Right.
what's going on inside the body.
Yeah, I listen. I definitely agree with you there, because even if you don't think there's an issue, there might be an issue. There's a lot of people, hey, I'm okay, and then the blood work comes back, and there's some things that are off in there. That listen, that may have been the core problem, right? And that's what you really want to find. You don't want to mask problems.
Right.
You want to find the core root of the problems and fix the problems if you possibly can. Just not mask symptoms, because it's easy to mask symptoms. But at that point, get to the root of the problem, fix the root of the problem, and things will turn around.
So I went for PRP, and when I was doing that, they were testing areas and looking at areas to see what's going on. And I discovered things that I live with. And I'm like, holy shnikes. Wow, that doesn't feel good. And so it was interesting to me to go, I've been able to live in some kind of pain with things that I just time
through.
where, and after looking back, I'm like, holy shnikes, I wouldn't have known. And I think it's the same thing for blood work. You guys might be out there and you're kicking ass and everything, but you might be messing up the inside body, and how the body changes so much quicker when it's working correct.
Absolutely. It does. It's like a fine-tuned machine.
Really does.
Works like it's supposed to, does things like it's supposed to, and you don't have to pull down deep to get it to work, per se. I mean, that's what a lot of people do. I mean, even when I had low testosterone, I would get up. I knew I had a job I had to go provide for the family. Peter was, I think, 2 years old at the time. And, get up, did my job, did my 2-hour workout at the end of the day, came home, was just dead. But at that point, like, I would do what I had to do. And people are built like that and wired like that. Even if you have low testosterone, there's some people out there that they just soldier through. They soldier through these issues and problems. And at that point, they don't ever get it fixed until later on, and they have to deal with it. But, if you can recognize these things, it's okay to get help in some of these areas. It doesn't make you less of a man or anything like that. That was
this ain't the 80s or 90s no more. This is new age. This is what people are doing to take themselves, and so the people that are making a living off their visual are doing HRT so they can last longer in their movies and TV shows and all that kind of stuff.
Sure.
And you don't get, and I think that's a misconception, you don't get jacked off of it.
No.
Yeah. So go into that, because I think most people think if I'm going to start something, they're like, I'm going to be Mr. Olympia next. It's like, okay.
Yeah. So my first thing to people is listen, just because you take HRT does not make, you're not going to be like Arnold Schwarzenegger. You're not going to be like those guys. Okay. Your genetics ain't there. You're never going to be able to train that hard. You're never going to be that consistent eating all this stuff. You're never going to get to that point. So don't think like that. Because I do get some people like, oh, I don't want to look like Drew, right? Because he's so big or whatever it is, right? So
I want to look like Drew.
I mean, listen, so do I. I want to be big. That's what we're here for, right? But some people they don't want to do that. They don't want to work out and everything like that. They just want to have energy. They want to look better. They want to perform. They want no foggy thinking, and that's kind of what they're going after. So at that point, when I talk to people, I'm like, listen, this is about health. Even people that call me, I had some guy he was sponsored by Red Bull. He a guy that jumps off cliffs and free dives and all this. And he wants me to sponsor him. He's like, we use HRT and stuff like that. And these other guys. He's like, but we can't get big like bodybuilders. I'm like, well, don't think you're going to get like a bodybuilder. I'm like, it's not going to happen. I mean, at that point, it's for health and for you to have a better quality of life. It's not for you to get jacked and big. Now, if you train real hard, you eat real good, you'll put on some lean body mass. And this is a good thing, not a bad thing. So when we talk about lean body mass, yes, sir. When we get older, it's harder for us to build that lean body mass. So you want to build as much lean body mass as possible. As you get older, you won't lose as much and you won't get as frail. I mean, that's one thing that's kept me in the game and kept a lot of people in the game. So, I think that the misconception is, listen, if you take any anabolic steroids or testosterone or anything like that, you're not going to get jacked like a bodybuilder. You're not taking bodybuilder doses. You're taking medical doses, and what we're in it for is for your health. I could care less if somebody gets jacked. I'd rather see their numbers really good and them tell me, hey, John, you've improved my quality of life. This is going good. This is going good. This is going. That's what I want to hear from patients. I want to hear, listen, you've improved my daily life and everything around it. And I thank you for that. And longevity and all these other good things that come along with it. So that's what I literally go for. I mean, even when I started Titan, I was 230 pounds because bigger was better back then. And at that point, I had to learn afterwards. I'm like, now I have a successful business. I have my family. I was like, bigger is not the priority to me. The priority to me is to be healthy and to be here for a long time feeling good. And that's what
kid, you're still big. You're still jacked. Got news for you. Got news for you, man. We were popping the top. You look incredible.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you. I'm trying to catch up to you.
Kind of watch you curl, man. Just for everybody that's listening to this, you will get leaner if you do everything that Titan Medical tells you. And 100%. Clean up your diet, train frequently, or at least 3 times a week. But you will get leaner. You will retain that muscle, which is a good thing, right? You want to retain as much muscle as you can as you age. And like you said, energy. So absolutely. Titan Medical is helping people. Like we said, we talked about that you get people messaging you going, you changed my life. You know, it's just like, it's cool that Titan Medical is doing that for people out there.
Absolutely. They get it all the time.
Because I hear people call me and go, I want to get in good enough shape that I can take my shirt off at the pool. You know, it's summertime. It's a huge thing. I think people say it's a small thing, but this is what I want to do. I go, that's a huge thing. You want to go out there and I got to hang out with this guy and I got to go out and take my shirt off next to him. It's like, it's a good thing for you guys to be doing that. If there is something that you recommend for people for joint health and stuff, because you and I just talked about that again, about BPC and, and there's a time that you take it and there's a time that you come off of that. Right? Is it like 3 months? Is it 6 months? What is it?
Yeah.
And then you go off.
You want to, you want to do about 90 days and then at that point go off. I mean, you can take a little bit of preventative here and there, but you don't want to be a constant protocol. You want to attack, whatever areas, whatever's problematic and literally give that a good go for about 90 days. And at that point you can come off, or you can do a maintenance dose. You can do 1 or 2 times per week like that. If you want to, just keep preventative for the tendons, the ligaments, the joints and stuff like that, to keep down inflammation too as well. That's a big one for me and why I take it. So, BPC 157, TB 500 are the best healing peptides in the market right now. As far as that goes. Now, BPC is more site specific. TB 500 works systemically. That means it goes throughout the body wherever injected. But what I like to do is, and I was telling you about it, is putting them both in the same syringe and injecting them both in the same areas. So it's less travel for the TB 500, even though, right? Yes.
I started that a couple of days ago and loved it.
Much better, right?
I mean,
much better.
Yeah. I mean, it just sucks to have, even though they're small insulin needles, it still sucks that you're poking and stuff. So of course. Thank you for that little tidbit of advice.
Yeah. And when you come down here, we're gonna do the videos, and I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna hook you up. I'm gonna show you exactly where to inject. I mean, I've done this for a long time. Even where the point where when we first got into it and I first developed Hercules Potion, I think it was one of the first Olympias, and afterwards, I've definitely put people on that stage right beforehand and had them win Olympia using Hercules Potion. I can't tell you who because of HIPAA, but I'm telling you that I've done it. I've strategically lined up those areas and put them right before they walked on the stage. So, being able to do that is one thing, and knowing where to inject in some of these products is a game changer too as well. You don't got to be Einstein to do it, but if
you see what he did there though? If we were at the photo shoot this whole time, he could have done that to me and he didn't.
So I wanted to.
Wait, well, what's up with that?
Next time I'm going to. That's why I told you. Next time you come down, I'm definitely doing it because I'm going to line you up. Because you could do, listen, I do on some days, I'll do 6 Hercules Potion shots. And I'll do 1 bilaterally.
He
in
shouldn't have
each-
told
each
me
pec.
that.
I was going to ask him that.
Yeah, one second. Let's pull
Biceps.
you in, Jeffrey.
It's what he's saying.
Jeffrey's got a question here
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah, I was going to ask
Sure.
you that you were talking about the chest. What if you want more than just the chest? What if you want to do chest, shoulders, triceps, or
Sure.
something like that?
Done. Do
And then-
line up 6. Boom, boom. I mean, I 6 mLs. So some people do the half
That's
ml.
next question.
They
Was
do the
it
bilateral.
split up 6 or just 6 doses individually?
I do 6 doses. I'll line up 6 full syringes. I have these videos already on YouTube and all these other areas, and I
Will
have
you
demonstrations.
find a link to that? I'd like to see that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
something. Let's go down this road here for a second. So
Sure.
the one that you got me from the chest, we could do a couple of those.
Really?
Yeah. And especially because I'm doing this huge shoot this weekend. Why not? Right?
Mike, I'll
Little
get on
amino
FaceTime with
acids.
you. I'll tell her exactly where to go. So I mean, at that point, I mean, it ain't like you need a lot of help, but what it will do is it will push those areas and it will light you up like a Christmas tree of the veins even more than you already are, and you're already really vascular. So at that point, like this is something like
Chicks
you
dig
can take-
vascularity. I'm
dig.
just kidding. I love
but
that.
yeah, so yeah, it's great. I mean, and you definitely see the fullness in the muscle. I mean, like, for me, like today, like I did both chests, I did both biceps, and I did both triceps. And
So again,
triceps, you can
This
do
is
2 different
Hercules
spots.
potion, right? That's what we're
Hercules
talking
potion.
about. So
Yep.
tell them, because they're kind of like, wait a minute, it sounds like you're doing a lot. Well, Hercules potion is amino acids,
That's it.
and and then it's probably a smaller dose, but it's injectable, so it works better than a high dose. right?
Absolutely.
it-
The concentration, absorption rate, all this is going to be way better. And people have asked me before, well, I could take this in, they see what it is. And I could take this in oral form. Like, take the oral form, take this form, and then you'll see the difference. And even when I started talking about this in the beginning, when I came out with it, people were like, it's just amino acids. I'm like, I understand it's just amino acids, but it's going to give you this effect. Like, no way. I'm like, yes way. And I brought out an amino blend, a little version of it that doesn't have all the components, but a little bit, by this pharmacy where I could do multi-use. And then what I started doing was I started going to gyms and I started giving it to people for free. I'm like, take this shot for free, go train, tell me how you feel afterwards. You go, oh man, I want to get some more of that. Like, what was in that? And then I tell him, like, he's just, that's like, no way. I'm like, yeah, that's what it is. So it like I said, it's a game changer. It's all natural. This is something that a professional basketball player, football player, anybody can take this without being on the banned substance list. So that's one thing people ask me all the time, like, what can you get professional players that isn't on the PED list? And this is one of them. And they can utilize this, still get performance enhancing things without getting tagged or getting suspended or getting fined. So that's one thing that I do offer up to all the players. I'm like, listen, this is going to definitely change the game for you. And there's a couple other things. So, it's really, really good. Like I said, I definitely want to do you. I definitely want to set you up and pin you next time and show you what it can really fully do all the way.
I love that, Johnny. And I think that leaves us perfect right here. Somebody already going back in. If you guys
got to say, we have a blood work special today for the rest of the week. Blood work special.
Get on over there. Call for the blood work special. Tell them Titan sent you. Titan. What do you mean, Titan?
Okay.
Don't confuse them.
Tell
And then
the Titan sent you.
let's continue forward as we are living the Titan lifestyle with Johnny and his family, me and my family. Keep following us on everything that we're doing, because we have some fun stuff coming out. And Johnny really, I sat down with John and really picked his brain on each of the peptides. So we will get these videos out there for you guys. I know Andres is probably already working on it.
Oh, he is. He's super
And
excited.
so, yeah, you guys are going to love this stuff. It breaks it down real simple. I try to keep it in. He gives you exactly what it is for those people that want to hear that. I kind of break it down into layman's terms so I can understand it. But I think the stuff we did is great, and I cannot wait to see every week on Tuesday. Check my page or check Titan Medical every day, and get on their newsletter. Again, remember, get on their newsletter, because they send out a newsletter, and it also tells you what specials they're doing for the peptides.
Yep. Special on all therapies. Therapy of the week will be a special. All the events, everything we got coming up. I mean, it's fully informational, all about Titan and what we're doing. So yeah, there's definitely some cool stuff on there that you guys want to get into for sure.
And then for you and me, I'll start scheduling next trip to come out there. This time
I'll be lined up Orlando.
Vacation and actually eat.
I can't wait. We've been wanting to do this for a while. Absolutely, man. I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys.
Thanks, brother. Talk soon.
All right, bro. Yes, sir.